home to our state's largest university, a global pharmaceutical company which once did business out of an old skating rink, and on game day, West Virginia's most populated city. I'm Wayne Worth, and you're watching On the Road in West Virginia, our 55 counties, Monongalia County. Before this place was home to the mountaineers, it was first home to the early pioneers in 1758 who settled in what we today call Monongalia County. A dude named Tobias Decker with a party of 50 people would become the county's first permanent settlement, as they would quickly build cabins around the mouth of Decker's Creek. Now, it didn't take long for the Native Americans to catch wind of this new settlement, and within a year promptly attacked these early pioneers, dispersing many of them to safer pastures. However, when Zachariah Morgan arrived on the scene in 1771, it would be the start of more permanent settlements throughout the county, and by 1785, Morgantown, which is today Morgantown, was officially born. The first half of the 1800s, places like Morgantown would see some growth due to the close proximity to the national road just north of the county. However, most of the early growth would take shape through the county's investment in education. Right from the start, Monongalia County aspired to become our state's center of education, and in 1803 the good residents of Morgantown established its first school. Fast forward 100 years later, the county gave birth to the Monongalia Academy, and by 1831 the Morgantown Female Collegiate Institute was up and running. Throw in the Woodburn Female Seminary in 1858, Monongalia County would become quite the powerhouse in 19th century education. Of course, this would become very instrumental when the new state of West Virginia was trying to find the best place to put a college. And with the infrastructure already in place in Morgantown, it was a no-brainer for the state to have the city host a new West Virginia Agricultural College in 1867, which a year later would be changed to West Virginia University. Oh, and we can't leave out the early boom in iron making along the mighty Cheat River, as places such as Isis Ferry, now Cheat Lake, between the late 1790s and 1840s saw a foundry, a mill, and a nail factory. It also saw a population of over 2,000 at the industry's peak. Now, the Civil War would bring some action to Monongalia County with the Jones and Bowdoin raid. However, the post-Civil War era would also bring more action to the region, as Morgantown and Monongalia County would become a major industrial center in northern West Virginia. Like many West Virginia counties, they had to endure the wrath of the Jones and Bowdoin raid, and Morgantown in the spring of 1863 was no different. General Jones's whirlwind tour of West Virginia made a brief 2-day stop in Morgantown, mainly to steal horses and loot before making his way south to Fairmont. Now, things started rocking after the Civil War when a branch of the B&O Railroad extended from Fairmont up the Monongahela River to Morgantown in 1886. What followed was the completion of 2 more railroads in the county, which paved the way for early booming coal, oil, and natural gas. The abundance of cheap natural gas immediately attracted glass manufacturers to the county, which would become an industry that would thrive in the area for nearly a century. The oil and gas industry would also help develop the western end of the county as towns sprung up out of nowhere. But nothing would bring prosperity to the region like the discovery of the Pittsburgh coal seam near Scotts Run. What ensued was Monongalia County becoming one of the state's leading coal-producing counties for years to come, and with the growth and expansion of this fairly new college that we call WVU, it seemed like nothing could go wrong. Well, sadly it did, as the county would experience 6 mine disasters, with the most devastating one being the Everettville mine disaster in 1927, which killed 97 men. As for the coal industry in Monongalia County, it would see a steady decline over the years, mainly due to cheap natural gas, tougher environmental regulations, and market forces beyond the industry's control. And as for natural gas, the industry is also market-driven and subjected to periodic booms and busts. Which takes us right here to an industry that continues to grow and provides economic vitality to the region. And that industry would be healthcare. The expansion of West Virginia University also means the expansion of hospitals like Ruby Memorial Hospital and Mon General, which have become 2 of the region's best. And with a significant investment in research and development, both WVU and the hospitals have helped expand the healthcare industry both in the county and the region. Even Mylan Pharmaceuticals, which is one of the top drug companies globally, and yes, got its start in White Sulphur Springs out of an old skating rink, has contributed greatly to the local economy, employing more than 3,000 people. Now, the completion of I-79 and I-68 has also provided the county a direct link to Pittsburgh and the Baltimore-Washington, D.C. area. Add to more recent infrastructure improvements, significant investments in economic development through tax increment financing, and our beloved Mountaineers being part of the Big 12 Conference, no wonder Morgantown is the state's largest city on game day.
But hey, when you could proudly say that Don Nance was born and raised here in Morgantown and also graduated from WVU, then you know you're in a quality place. I'm Wayne Worth, and until next time, always remember what we value and hold important to our lives today came from events that happened yesterday, and it's when we begin to understand the events of yesterday that we fully embrace today, which makes tomorrow become less of a mystery.